We have to be careful when we say things that we like because they engage kids in the process of learning. Like in getting kids to play video games and to play snooker will very much engage them in the learning of those things. Sometimes work's just hard, and we have to recognise that and teach the kids that it's just hard. But then coming to the next part of it about inquiry-based learning, I think it's a really interesting question why the influence of it is very, very small. And I spent quite a bit of my time over the last few years trying to understand it because it sounds pretty impressive. It sounds the kind of thing we should be doing. But I'm an evidence-based person. And so I look at the evidence and say, why is the effect so low of inquiry-based learning and problem-based learning? And it's only by asking that question that you can then start to understand what's happening. It turns out that if you are learning surface level information, the content, as contrasted with the deep learning, which is the relationship between the content, then problem-based learning, inquiry-based learning is pretty useless. But if you don't teach the surface and the content, you've got nothing to inquire about. So the major reason I would argue that inquiry-based learning is wrong is it's introduced too early. It's introduced before the students have the ideas. It's introduced when some of the kids have sufficient content they can go into the whole notion of inquiry and problem-based, but other kids are left behind. And so one of the arts is to know when to introduce inquiry-based and problem-based. And there is a when time. If you're trying to get the kids to build up sufficient knowledge and understanding and vocabulary, that's the wrong time. Once they have it, it is the right time. So yes, it can work. And the reason it comes out very low on the chart is because most teachers introduce it far too early.